A vote to accept and file the superintendent's report.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. Mr. DeAndrea, can you please take a roll call?
Mr. Valka.
Yes, except for items noted.
Mrs. Backman.
Yes, except for those noted.
Mr. Bishara.
Yes, except for those noted.
Mr. Brzezinski.
Yes, for those that are noted.
Mr. Sire.
Yes.
Mrs. DePinto. Mrs. Rafuya.
Yes.
Mrs. Pratt.
Yes.
Mr. McNamara.
Yes, and again, I want to congratulate Mr. Malloy. I think he'll be a superb addition to the Sayville administrative team. Okay, pressing on with the agenda, Mr. Syak, the delegate
Thank
to
you.
New Jersey School Board Association. What do we have?
Before I do the NJSBA report, I just want to reiterate, not clarify, not restate, reiterate my earlier comments. What I had said regarding the raises was the entire pot of money has increased by 2%, some 2.2. Some people got less, some people got more. What Mrs. Backo said was some people got 1, some people got 3. Now, that seems to be less, that seems to be more. But apparently it just sounds better sometimes coming from that end of the table. That being said, the NJSBA report, I did speak to Gwen Thornton from NJSBA, and Gwen is available to come in and meet with us either one of our September meetings.
That should be fun.
That should be very fun. I just want to know from the board which meeting you would prefer. She's got both on her calendar right now, and I told her that we would make a
Let
decision.
me ask Dr. O'Fama, how do those meetings look? When are we doing the Teachers of the Year and that type of thing?
Well, she's going to come in
You said September. You said
No,
September.
this has to be done in public because it's not an executive matter.
Last time we did the public.
You kid, right?
No, it has to be, believe me, it has to be done in public.
When are you going to start the meeting, at 3?
Do we have to do it? Do we, I mean, is
No.
there a requirement to do it at all?
That's a good question. Does the board still want to do this?
I
Mr.
mean,
Bento?
do we have to have her here?
Can I vote?
No. Mr. Pinto?
I'll vote with you, Phyllis.
Well, what's the benefit? What are the benefits?
I mean, I have my opinion, but
Like I said, we went through the board self-evaluation. The board self-evaluation obviously raised significant issues, one of which being trust among the membership of the board. Now, if we think we can work through that amongst ourselves, we can feel free to do it. I'm less optimistic that that's going to happen. I'm not exactly optimistic it's going to happen with an external facilitator either, but I think it has a better shot with an external
Mr.
facilitator.
Sire,
So
I'm
public
not the
spending-
brightest bulb, but I just don't understand how that's an open topic.
Because there's nothing.
I mean, I don't know, and I want to, Midio's shaking his head, but I just don't think it's a good idea to do this in open session if you're going to talk about,
I think it'd be cool.
that's,
We did it
no, I
last
don't want to see,
Dr.
I don't want to get.
Dr. Alfano, I agree with you.
I don't really want to get
wholeheartedly.
beat up.
But the Open Public Meetings Act does not provide an exception
I vote no.
for the board self-evaluation.
I
So if we're
think
gonna
that
do
this
this, it needs-
I don't vote, but I
evaluation is
vote
so old already, that by the time she gets here, that maybe we should start on the next one already. I mean, we took
But
this
look,
evaluation so long ago.
Yes, we took it so long ago, we've got the results, and first of all, it took us a while to get everybody to get it in.
Right.
In answer to your question, the meeting that's pretty packed is the second one. I believe it's the, I think it's,
Well, the first one is the day after Labor Day. The first one is the 4th, and the second one is the 18th.
When's the second one?
The 18th,
I
September
think Mrs.
18th.
Still Cummings would like to do it.
And listen, there's nothing saying that this needs to be held at 7:30. We could always back up the meeting. You know, it still needs to be advertised. I don't know if the public's gonna wanna sit here for 4 or 5 hours.
Okay, let's stop bleeding here.
And if you don't wanna do it, tell me you don't wanna do it.
Dan, what do you
Hold
think?
off.
Talk to me, Dan. Okay, Dan's a no. Jill?
I don't know, maybe we can just revisit it.
Jill's a no.
No, I didn't say I'm the no.
Oh,
It's the 18th, so the 4th is open. That's the
Helen,
I'm fine with it. I wasn't here for the others, so I don't,
we haven't done one in 6 years. Phyllis?
I didn't really see a big value to her the last time, so I'm okay with her not coming. So
I
it
think
doesn't
it
matter
will-
to me if she comes or not. I could go either way. He did take it.
Tom?
Perfectly honest with you, Mr. Syke has made a point. I don't think even if Glenn Thornton comes here, any improvement's going to happen with the evaluation. You know, there's a line set amongst us, and that's the way it's going to be. The answer's no.
She makes suggestions as well. Is that correct?
Correct.
She's a little therapist.
The word probably is better as facilitator,
Well, I,
although I'll relay that to her.
Karen, if I could, because I've been through four of them, it all depends on the facilitator and how much actual input and involvement there is by the board. If you have the board that wants to really make progress, I've seen it go in a very positive way. I've also sat there where the board chose not to make progress and it went in a very different way. So it's really upon the board members having an open mind or not on that day when that person comes in.
Mr. Sack, one of the things I can say that in her last opinion, if you remember when she drove from South River through Saraville to South Amboy, she said it was 5 miles. Why wasn't all these 3 districts consolidated? If you remember, that was her comment.
Okay?
I mean, that's what I got from the last meeting, that her main topic to me was that, you got 3 school districts in 5 miles from one another, and
that was interesting, and actually, following that meeting, I actually had a meeting with South River, South Amboy. I called the meeting with 5 families, and after the meeting, their superintendents told them not to meet me. So that was the end of that.
I didn't tell you that.
No, there are other
we had
superintendents.
separate meetings.
So my opinion is, let's table this. Let's chew on it a little bit. You and I will have
Well,
a
look,
conversation.
let's not table it.
Okay, I vote no. I vote no.
Okay, thank you. Let's make a decision.
Next
So the
issue.
answer is no.
Next issue.
I'm done, thank you.
That's okay. Any committee reports? We got a curriculum, when is our redistricting meeting, Mrs. Mack?
Thursday.
Is that just with the committee? Because the administration doesn't know about it. It's just a committee, right?
Yes, we just decided yesterday.
Okay, so it's just a committee getting together so we figure out what we're going to do. So, where are we going to do this? Your place?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Mack, where are you meeting because the building's shut?
Yeah, that's why I'm asking the question.
Why can't we meet here? We
I
can't meet
believe
here?
this building closes at 3, but,
Well, that's what time we were meeting, wasn't it? Right.
yeah, but I need
I
to
will
know
move-
because
we'll move
I'm
it
not
to
sure if
Dallas.
I have custodians on at night all
Oh,
the time.
is every building closed at 3?
Most of them do, and we generally ask people to stay on when we have things going
All right,
on.
3 o'clock
all the
at
time.
Dallas.
Okay.
The only question, why would a committee be meeting without the administration that's not discussing the administration?
Because we as a committee decide what the heck we're doing. That's why.
And you don't want input from the administration?
Oh, we got there.
We did that the last time. We just
So
wanted
we
to
need to,
discuss.
there's a little disagreement among the committees. So it's not an official committee meeting.
Are you looking to meet here?
No,
No, we'll go
No,
somewhere
they
else.
go to
It's okay.
You'll go with Bellows?
Yeah.
That's why they didn't invite us.
they have air conditioning, it's open, and they got beer. All right.
Especially you.
And it's not a true meeting.
It's not a true meeting, it's just a family
It
gathering.
costs them too much.
We got a lot of recommendations at the last meeting that we want to go over.
Okay, where are we at? Anything for discussion? Mr. Emilio, what's the status of the contractor we hired to look into possible people going to the district that don't live in the state?
We've narrowed it, I've gotten down to 50 individuals that we're going to start with, 50 families. Hopefully the labels are being done this week, and hopefully the letters go out later part of this week. Then we're going to follow up with a second round of things that Mrs. Eichner and I discussed that we believe should be the second round that necessarily didn't come off of that list. So we're starting with the first 50 this, hopefully the end of this week, early next week. And I also like to let you know that progress on the technology upgrades are going very well. They were in Salover the last few days, and they're making good progress. The virtual server, I believe, was worked on today, and may have also been completed today. So we're hopeful within the next few weeks, the technology project may be completed and hopefully up and running for the opening of school. The gentlemen that are working, they work pretty neat, pretty clean, and they're doing a nice job as far as what we could see in Salover.
All right, so remind the board, if you remember at the beginning of last school year, for the public, we hired a company. What was the cost of that? It was kind of minimal. $10,000? $12,000. To look at our database of all our enrolled families and to compare them to proprietary databases to see if there's any conflicting information. For example, let's say you registered in this school district, put down a Sayville address, and 6 months to a year later, you apply for a credit card, and you put down your address, well, that would be identified as a mismatch. So we've identified 50
Right now, the
His-
first round is going to be 50.
that things came up that raised a red flag that we're going to investigate. And it's always been my feeling that we're going to find a number of students that are living here and say things like, hey, we went over that big bridge on the way to school or something like that. That should raise a red flag and say, you know, maybe they don't live here. So that's good. Keep us posted on the results of that as we go on. Anything else for discussion?
One thing, Mr. McEnroe, it's been going on 2 years now, our ROTC program that we were
Yes.
going to implement.
Yes.
What is its status?
Sayville is number one on the list. The problem is that the fiscal problems at the Department of Defense right now, everything's on hold throughout the country for all services because the military is deciding, should we fund junior ROTC programs or should we buy jet fuel, things like that. So once that all lines out, Sayville, they did contact the district, I want to say in the winter sometime to say if they were still interested because they wanted to update their list and Sayville was still interested. And my appeal to them was that the name of the school is Sayville War Memorial High School. Our mascot is the Bombers, and we have a fighter aircraft on our back, so it seems to be a pretty good match. And I think in the town of Sayville, which is very veteran-friendly, that this would be a nice match. So we don't know. It's in the hands of the Department of Defense, but Sayville is at the very top of the list. So, any other discussion? Okay, at this time, I'd like to open up for the public for any business that may come before the board. If you have any questions or comments, please come up, state your name and address for the record. Having seen none, it's time to watch the Yankee game.
Joe, it's easy.